Wow. Wow. That episode was bonkers. I was going to talk about the ending for Venom and whatnot and explain it to you guys tonight, but I'm going to do that tomorrow after I get the full watch tomorrow. Obviously, seen some scenes and whatnot, but this episode, Agatha, was insane. Like, every episode we're getting these witches and we're, getting attached to them, and then they're dying. Lilia was no different, if not my favorite of the group. And essentially, I put some notes on the side, so we'll talk about that. Wiccan or Billy saying she's not my mom, I have a mom, got the Wanda fans so mad, and I'm so here for it. I loved it. I thought it was funny. Obviously we know she's his mom, but it was still funny. He's still kind of battling the fact of, is he William or is he Billy? And I mean, he said it twice in this episode, Is Wanda really dead? Yes, no, maybe. If you wanted a straight answer, you should have asked a straight witch, is what Agatha said. And Alex pointed out, it's kind of how Scoopers are. It's kind of funny, not answering like seriously or directly. Wicked Witch, Maleficent, Evil Witch in Snow White, and the White Queen. They all dressed up as Disney characters. I thought it was a perfect touch. It was cool. It was in the castle. And this episode just was crazy. Lilia continues to see the past, the present, and the future, her mentor, and all these moments back in these episodes. It flashes back. We see, her first ever trial that she did, which was tea leaves with her mentor. We see that throughout the years, she says, all I see is death. And she finally realizes it when Rio comes to her and says, don't you recognize me, Lilia? It's me. And she flips the card. She's like, death. Rio's been around for all these centuries, and Lilia could never put a face to it or a name to the face. And she finally does. And then she perishes. And her death was sad. She stopped the Salem 7. She stopped them all by herself. But then she perished to a sword, which is literally how I called it. And then she says to Agatha, when she calls you a coward, hit the deck. I'm assuming she's going to try to kill her. She's going to duck down. And then, she says, Rio's death. She's the original Green Witch. It really felt like Inception meets like The Shining. It just crazy. It just kept going back and forth and gave us all these moments. And even that tease that we saw in episode 3 where we actually saw Death in her full skeletal form. This time we saw her in her half skeletal form. It was just crazy to me. I enjoyed this episode thoroughly. I thought this episode was perfect. All of the characters worked well together. Jennifer Kale's kind of sitting a back burner until possibly next week's episode. She is the poster character of next week's episode, even though it's Billy's trial. And I believe it's the last trial. And then the next week is Agatha versus Rio, how they met, how she made her deal with the Darkhold, and all this stuff. And I can't wait to see how this all ties up. And both of those episodes are next week. I'm going to be sad because I'm going to be honest with you, I love this show. I think this show is the best Disney Plus show there's been. I think right behind it is Loki, but I think the show is a little bit better. And it's just more interesting and fun. And Jack Schaefer, she's the best director, and her writing team are perfect. The way that they are writing these characters that are making us fall in love and just enjoy these characters through every episode, even though they perish most of the time within a 2-episode period, is insane to me. It's so good. And this is just my quick original response and reaction. I saw this twice. My daughter wanted to watch it with me, and she was glued to it. It was so good. Just it's funny because even though Funko Pop ruined the reveal of death, her reveal was still like, oh, like we couldn't believe it. We knew it was it, but we couldn't believe it. Like, talking with my group, and we all were just like, wow, like, insane. So, yeah, that's my review. I mean, honestly, this episode was a 10 out of 10. As always, let me know what you guys thought, and prepared tomorrow for Venom. I'll catch y'all in the next one.